Hey friends, it's Mike here at Guitar Tricks, back with another video on alternate picking. This time we're going to focus more on 16th notes and ways to practice that with a metronome. In the previous lessons, we were working with quarter notes and eighth notes, and now it's going to get a little trickier. Let's have a quick review against the click of what those subdivisions sounded like. So, for quarter notes, it was one pick per click, down, up. Okay? When we went to eighth notes, it was a down up per click. Now 16th notes are going to be down up per click, or 4 picks per click. So even at the slow tempo of 60 BPM, it gets a little challenging and a little speedier. It's also challenging because we're locking only the first pick of the 4, against the click. So those other 3 are sort of floating in air a little bit. My tip to you is that to just always make sure that first downstroke out of every 4 is locked as close as you can to that click on the metronome. What you'll find is that the other 3 picks tend to even themselves out naturally, as long as you're aiming for that first of 4, that first downstroke, hitting the top of that click. So how do we practice this? Well, there's a couple exercises I have in mind for this. The first one is using our A minor pentatonic box, 5th position. And to start off with, what I'm going to do is play 1 note per click, but I'm going to pick it 4 times, down, up, to practice our 16th notes. Here we go. 3E and a, 4E and a. Okay, so that's a great way to get into working with 16th notes. Another cool thing you can do now that we've worked with quarters, eighths, and 16ths is to practice them within the same exercise. So let's take this exercise, but change up the rhythms to be playing quarters and eighths as well. Might look something like this. 3, 4. All right. Another variation of this exercise that would work really well in your practice routine might be to just play the single notes from this scale in those different rhythms. So that would just be 1 pick per note, but you're changing up the rhythms from quarters to eighths to 16ths against the metronome. Let me demonstrate. 3, 4. All right, so we've got a few great little exercises here to put in your practice routine. One more exercise I'm going to show you using 16th notes that's really going to up it to the next level is using the full major scale instead of just the pentatonic. If you notice with this pattern, it ends up being 2 notes per string. So you're always doing an even number of down ups when you're crossing strings. You're going to stay in that flow. But what if I went to a C major scale? I'm going to start here on the 3rd fret of the A string, go to the 5th fret, then on the D string, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th, and then the 2nd, 4th, and 5th frets of the G string. Now I've got 2 notes on the A string, 3 notes on the D, and 3 notes on the G string. So now we're going to cross strings at different points in the alternate picking. We want to keep our alternate picking down, up all the way through. So it gets a little trickier. I'm going to start the metronome and play eighth notes to start to work on this, crossing the strings, keeping your alternate picking going. Here we go. All right, so this is a great way to start really working on your alternate picking, crossing strings at different times in that down-up flow, okay, which can be a little bit tricky at first. Start slow and gradually increase the tempo as you get more comfortable with it. I hope you enjoy these exercises, and I hope to see you on the next one in this series.